remind the MMA and fight fans, if I can, on Friday, December 18th, right here in Tampa at the Brian Glazer Community Center, we'll be hosting the Florida Mixed Martial Arts Hall of Fame. And of course, our guest today, Conan Silveira, will be one of the 10 inductees, and he will be in attendance there to accept his award. So
yes,
it's an honor to have you, and thank you so much.
It is my honor. Yes. Yeah, I'm very honored to be a part and inducted by you guys. I mean, really means a lot to me.
Right. Well, thank you for all your contributions and everything you've done to pave the way for all these young fighters that we have today, and for the UFC to see how big it is. Because a lot of people don't know. They just know he was a coach. They didn't know you used to fight in the UFC back in the day.
Yes, I fought in 1997 on the first UFC tournament. And I definitely think then that was the number one and only one controversy in the whole MMA, fighting the same guy then the same night. You know, Sakuraba. Right? Yes. Yeah. I won the first fight, but they found a way to just no contest and bring me back. They brought me back in the same night to fight him again, because it was only the Japanese. There was only 2 Japanese on the tournament. It was a Sakuraba, then they pushed, and then the last second of the tournament. And the other one was the one for Tank Abbott. I don't remember his name. I mean, I'm getting old.
Yeah, I don't remember either. It was a long time.
Yeah, but they could not, as the first tournament in Japan, they could not, having the tournament in Japan and not having a Japanese fighter winning a fight. So, it is what it is. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but
you don't. But it does sound like that must have been tough for somebody to go there and to try to win legitimately, because obviously you won. But do you remember those feelings back then when this was happening and you knew they were trying to change the decision?
It's not that I remember. I never forgot about the feelings. I never forgot the feelings, because probably that was the only time in my life that I felt that I was in a bad situation in the country. Then I didn't speak the language. I was surrounded by some, guys in a black suit, if you know what I mean. So my choices on not going back for the second fight at the same night doesn't exist. I had one option, was to go back over there. So, when I look outside of my dressing room, I saw all the Japanese guys, with like you see in the movies, basically. I'm like, holy God, I gotta go back. Yes, pretty much that was the people outside. And I'm like, if I don't go back, probably I'm not going to leave the country. I don't know, how many, can you imagine how many things were going through my mind at the time? I'm like, I don't care. I just want to fight. Whatever happens, happens. My mind wasn't that anymore. I went back to the hotel. I packed my stuff and I went to the airport. And I stayed in the airport like 10 or 12 hours waiting for my flight.
Did you ever return back to Japan to fight after that experience?
After years, yes, I did. I did it as a coach, not as a fighter. I mean, you let it go in some time. You're going to let it go, the whole situation. But like I say, I never forgot.
And we can never ever take away from Conan Silveira that he indeed legitimately beat Sakuraba in Japan, and that did.
Yeah, happen. It was the first one.
That's great. And do you ever sit back, and I'm sure you've heard this question before, but you went from being a fighter and having your own career. Do you ever sit back and realize how many champions you've helped create, especially down at American Top Team, Coco?
And I'm going to answer that in a very humble way, in a very simple way too. I do not pay attention. I like I said, I'm so honored for all the for people recognize, and I'm always people good job. But my mind is I don't expect that. I think that I put everything that I have, all the things I learn in life, and I'm still learning on what is next. That was a big surprise, to be inducted for the Hall of Fame. But it is important, means a lot to me. But I keep myself with my feet on the ground and try to do more. I think then the team is more important than anything. So yes, answer your question. Yes, it's a lot of people then I went through their lives and vice versa, and I'm still part of some of the guys. And I mean, I'm so happy. I mean, I'm very honored. I mean, I'm so blessed to be part of the journey, that journey, not mine, but that, to be part of, make them dream come true. So yes, it is. I cannot ask God for a better life.
Wow, it's well deserved too, Conan. And do you ever think about maybe some of the people? And I don't want to get ahead because you're going to have a moment on December 18th where you're going to be able to thank people specifically. And I don't want you to blow that. No, I want you to save that, of course, for the moment and that night.
I already have it.
Thank, of course. But obviously, do you ever look at maybe like the great platform that you're working at, American Top Team, that's helped really enable you to be able to do all the things that you've done? Of course, I believe no matter where you went and where you would work your craft, you would be very successful. But do you ever look at maybe Dan Lambert's platform of American Top Team as being such a great platform that's helped you to elevate your coaching?
Well, you know, once you mention his name, you know, he definitely is one of the guys. Then we not only partners, we not only work together, we not only friends, you know. Daniel is a family to me, you know. It's a lot of situations and a lot of ups and downs. Then we went together, you know, including my ups and downs and his ups and downs. Then it's just, I think it's kind of hard to even mention, you know, because it is a friendship that is being for 25, 20 years already. You know, it's being, I mean, from the day before the day zero, we've been together. So, you know, definitely it is a human being that I will never, ever have in my life again. He's from a different planet.
And what's special about it, in my opinion, is the friendship. So you got that hat, then you have the partners, business partners, and then he was a student of yours also, because you gave him his black belt.
I mean, we've been family. I mean, since he came to Miami Beach, where the place I had my first school, from there it's just like, you know, we don't know if he was going to get this size. We don't know then we're going to have a, you know, and I say that in another way to be humble, the best team on the planet, American Top Team, you know. And I'm suspect to say something, but I have to recognize that it is, you know. We didn't know back then. We say, hey, let's try, let's do something, let's go ahead and see if we can put something together, and took lots of years to make the thing right. You know, we are definitely 1000% on the best time of our life as a team, as a I mean, the whole thing just flows as a, you know, a symphony. It's just the sound, the music, the instruments, they are very clear, very easy to understand. But, you know, through a lot of ups and downs.
And I won't get into any detail. This is your moment, but seems like a new chapter at American Top Team that started a few months ago. A new chapter, sort of a new slate. Some people are not there anymore. Does it feel like does it feel a little bit fresher? Does it have a different aura about the team now that there's a little bit more of a refreshing, it's been refreshed, if I can say it like that?
It is something that I can't describe. Definitely, I don't have a word to describe how clean the air it is. It is very, I don't know. I think that I have to create a word to describe my feeling, you know, towards to that. I think then, I mean, we know that we always going to have problems. We know that we always going to have situations and, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I believe in the combination, the harmony between everything and among everything is just, I mean, when you can hear the right note, you know, it is just right on the right place.
Well, here's how I compare like the teams and all that. I look at you and Dan like almost like the Chicago Bulls. You got what's his name, David Krause and Phil Jackson.
Don't tell me he's Krause. Don't say Conan is Krause.
So you guys, it's like every few years you're rebuilding. getting new players. You have to put, people come, they go, they're going to be with you for so many years, but things happen. And then you got to keep rebuilding to keep that success. And you guys have been able to do that for many years.
I say, I will say then that has not only we have the ability, but we have the mentality. We have to. That is part of being the best. People sometimes they see just the picture of being the best, but they have no idea what you have to do to stay there. Because to get there, it's not that hard. To stay there, that's when the fun starts. So most people, when they see us, they say, "Man, what do they do?" It's not only the renovation, but the thinking, the structure, the everything. We're not afraid to recognize that something's not working and switch and change and modify. We're not afraid of that.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
He doesn't care who's making the most money. If the player's playing best that week, he's the one that's playing. Can I ask you a question, Conan, based off of exactly that? I'm sorry, go finish your point first.
You see, it is one, I don't know if they have the saying here in the States, but in Brazil, when they say that the team that is winning, you don't touch it. I am complete against that. If you're winning today, I want to go back tomorrow, and I don't want you to be able to recognize who I am because I'm better than it was the day before. That is my mentality. That's our mentality. I want to go back to you tomorrow, and after every single day, then you see me, you're going to see me a different guy, a different fighter, a different strategy, a different team. You're never going to catch us just being the same. You're never going to do that because we don't allow that to happen.
One of your students for a very long time is easily, you can say, one of the greatest fighters in the world, pound for pound. Although it's a female, it doesn't matter. Amanda Nunes is one of the greatest fighters of all time, regardless of gender.
The GOAT.
She's a doubleweight champion, as a bantamweight champion, as the featherweight champion. I want to ask you, in building off of what you just explained, what did it take, if you can take us in a little bit, what did it take for Amanda to turn that corner and become the best and become as great as she is today? She always had the potential, but what were those moments? What were those things that needed to change for her that she turned that corner and now she is the pound for pound GOAT in her as a female and one of the greatest fighters of all time?
Okay, I'm going to tell you a story, and the story is going to be the answer, but it's going to be kind of in a knowledge way so you guys can understand. The reason why Amanda became the most, made history, the only fighter, doesn't matter, female, male, whatever you want to call, to be the only one in history to have two belts and defend the belts at the same time. So for you to become the best actress, for you to get an Oscar, to get an Oscar, to be the best one, what people say, oh my God, is nobody like her. You have to understand, then you have to create a confusion when people sees you. What is the confusion? The confusion means I got to reinvent myself. I have to present myself completely different than I present myself to the last fight. When she fought Cyborg, she was a completely different fighter than she fought Jermaine, or she fought Holmes, or any other fighter. Every time you see Amanda, you know that is Amanda Nunes, but you have no idea what she's going to present to you. So that mentality, that way to see herself in the fight, in the training, and to have that mentality came to her. So she's the type of a fighter. Then you don't know what she's going to do when she fights Megan Anderson next time. You think that Amanda is going to take her down? You think it's going to be a strike? What is the strategy? See, that questions you're going to have before you fight her, because you don't know. Who would think that Amanda will strike Cyborg? Everybody would think that he's going to take her down because Cyborg, it is the best striker. No. So that kind of a way to present herself is like sometimes when you watch a movie and you know that is the actor, you know his name, but she's so much impersonate on the character. Then you ask yourself, am I watching? I'm not sure if that the guy, but you know it is. So that confusion of, not knowing, it is right there. So, and that is pretty much who is Amanda Nunes. She can reinvent herself every single day for every single fight. That's the reason why she has 2 Oscars, not 1.
That's true.
Wow.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. And if for some reason you skipped ahead and you didn't hear us earlier, our guest today, Conan Silveira, head coach of American Top Team Coconut Creek, will be inducted into the inaugural 2020 Florida Mixed Martial Arts Hall of Fame. And we want to congratulate you. You're well-deserved and quite an honor to speak to you. It's
I appreciate you a lot. It's mine. I appreciate you guys.
Yes. Anything else before we go?
I think that's good for now, Conan. If we do another interview, because I want to talk another interview about you coming up and living
Anytime.
Living in the same neighborhood with Carlson Gracie Jr. You guys growing up together. You guys are like family.
Right. So if we're going to go, just let me finish saying, there's no way then I can thank you guys for the time. Ralph, you, man, you are in my heart. I appreciate you a lot. I really appreciate. Yeah. I appreciate a lot. And my thing is keep working. I want to see the team not only staying the best, but be the best and be remembered for the rest of our life. So is the best team on the planet. So that's me.
It's an honor. Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Hall of Famer.
Thank you,
Coach. I appreciate it, guys.